another 31 Days of Horror 2019 video. Fed up with all the crap we've been watching, Lesley requested that we go back to her picks previously and not give her a new batch. See, every day I would give her a batch of films. She would pick her top 3, and then James here would pick his choice out of those top 3. Well, I would save the other 2, and I made a pile of those. So we went back to those other choices.
There was stuff that was not in those other choices.
Yes,
so
no, that was all there.
No, it wasn't.
You just don't remember.
I yesterday.
Yeah, well, there's stuff that I didn't do yesterday's. So, James did not. Well, I guess James did not pick this. No. He didn't have a choice because Lesley just went through everything. And went, we're watching this one. And why did you pick this one? Did you say?
Because it said it was part of the Toronto International Film Festival.
Yes.
So it's gotta be okay, right?
We'll find out when we watch The Final Girls. Also played South by Southwest and, I don't know, some Stanley thing in LA Film Fest. I don't...
But again, this is kind of like the last one, so I'm like,
Yeah. It says a love letter to the 80s slasher film. Final Girls is delightfully devilish. Now, unlike the last film, I'm expecting comedy. Mm-hmm. This looks comedy-ish.
So maybe there'll be at least that.
Yes, and if it played TIFF, it likely played Midnight Madness, and generally the rule of thumb with Midnight Madness is it's going to be possibly dark horror or something like that, but it'll be more upbeat because they start at midnight, so you need to kind of keep your audience awake. So they've always tended to program things that were a little bit more energetic and such like that. So I'm assuming The Final Girls will be better than the last film. Any film we watch would probably be better than the last film, but
I hope so.
But yeah, I don't necessarily recognize any of these names.
No, her.
She looks familiar, but which one is her? Is she Malin Ackerman? 'Cause that's Nina Dobrev. I recognize that name.
I don't know her name, but I know where she's from.
Where is she from?
American Horror Story.
She was from American Horror Story?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think so. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, we're going to check out The Final Girls, and, yeah, we're both expecting...
I can't expect anything anymore. I'm hoping, man. I need to get, like, a Bible and pray.
The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you. Be good.
I'm hoping it's okay.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out. Well, you'll find out right after this. And by this, I mean edit. And we're back from The Final Girls, which we both have a feeling was like in 3D or something. This isn't in 3D, and no. I don't know, maybe if I did some research it would say, but if you know, comment down below, because there were definitely scenes that seemed like they should have been in 3D.
Yeah, not a lot. But
not a lot, but enough.
At least.
Enough. And if it was in 3D, why is there a 3D release of this available out there? Come on.
Then you're going to have to get it.
I know. But essentially, now that I've seen the film, I completely remembered the film because I saw the trailers to this film. So, if you don't know what The Final Girls is about, it's essentially about these people who are in real life who get sucked into a slasher film from the 80s via some mystical portal through a movie screen, and put themselves into an old 80s slasher called, what was it, Camp Blood, I think? Camp Bloodbath.
That's a camp you want to go to.
Yeah.
Or
so,
not.
The film is directed by a gentleman by the name of Todd Strauss-Schulson, who, oddly enough, before this did a very Harold and Kumar 3D Christmas, which was in 3D. So that's one of the things that leads me to kind of think that this was also in 3D. He's already done a 3D movie. He has, you know, those skills. And a very Harold and Kumar 3D Christmas has a lot of 3D in it.
Did you see that?
Yep. And then, oddly enough, after this, went on and did Isn't It Romantic? With Rebel Wilson. Just recently. And of course, being a slasher film, within a slasher film, there is not just one group of cast members, but technically two groups of cast members. And the person we were thinking about before we watched it was Thaisa Farmiga.
Wow.
Who, was in Anna and The Bling Ring. And of course, American Horror Story. Several of them as Zoe Benson. And also The Nun as Sister Irene. And she is essentially, I'd say, the main character in this film. The other one who plays... Is it a spoiler? I guess it's... Whatever. It's her mom.
Oh, no, you don't care.
Well, it's right off the bat. It's
yeah.
not really a spoiler. Plays her mom... a young version of her mother in the film, because her mom was an actor and she was, I guess it was the first role, or the role she's most known for was in this particular slasher film. And that person is played by Malin Ackerman, who, if you've seen The Watchmen, you may recognize her as the Jupiter character. Or if you've seen 27 Dresses, or lately, the last one, Rampage. She was in that particular one, along with a slew of other credits, television and film alike. Moving on from that, I'll go to the main man, who plays, I guess you'd call him the love interest of, I didn't say her name, Max Cartwright, who Thaisa played Max Cartwright, so Max's love interest is played by Alexander Ludwig. His character is Chris Biggs. Now, he was one of those characters, actors who I was like, I recognize him. And it's with, Lone Survivor, he was Shane Patton, or Kato in the Hunger Games, but that's not where I recognized him from. No. If you watched Vikings, he's Bjorn Lodbrok from Vikings.
This is why you would recognize him.
That's why I recognized him, yeah. And not you, so much you. But yeah, he's in Vikings. The funny thing about him is the year after he did The Final Girls, he was in a film called Final Girl. So he's been in two films with similar names.
Oh my god, that's what I was confusing it with. That was okay. All right.
Also in the cast as Kurt, we have Adam Devine. Now he was the one person you said you thought he was probably like from Glee. We both kind of recognized him, and you were saying, maybe he's from Glee, something along those lines. And he's done a lot of voice acting. He ended up Isn't It a Romantic, so he came back to that director, but no, Pitch Perfect, the Pitch Perfect films, which is why we were going to Glee.
But I never saw that.
You never saw Pitch Perfect?
No, why would I see that?
Any of them?
No.
Really?
I don't watch that stuff.
Oh.
He just seemed like that type of
That
guy.
type of person, eh?
Yeah.
Playing the role of Duncan, Thomas Middleditch. I've never seen that last name ever in my life. You might know him from several films. The Wolf of Wall Street, he had a small role in there, but as of recent note, genre film, the new Godzilla film. Yes, the new Godzilla film. He's Sam Coleman in that. Along with, again, these people are not newbies to acting. They've done stuff before and done stuff after. He was also in Kong Skull Island, playing the role of Jerry. I guess he was essentially reprising his role. And the role of Vicky Summers, Nina Dobrev. Again, this is somebody you probably know. Perks of Being a Wallflower, Let's Be Cops, Triple X Return of Xander Cage, among all sorts of other films and television stuff. But lately she was in the new Flatliners film. That's another story altogether. As Marlowe. Most people will recognize her, though, from the Vampire Diaries. Let's see. Okay, we got three people left. Playing Gertie, Alia Shawkat? Alia Shawkat.
It's not real.
I don't know. She wasn't in as much as the others, but you may know her from Whip It. As Pash, or from the Arrested Development show, which I never really watched, but maybe Funky. Okay. Sure. Yeah, amongst other things. But
Pee-wee's Big...
No, it's Pee-wee's Big Holiday. The Netflix film. She plays Bella. Painted Black. She plays Josie. And I think was there another one?
Like nothing like I would know.
In Green Room, she was Sam. That's where I recognized her from. Yeah. I couldn't put my finger on it, but in the role of Tina and getting really, really freaky near the end, we got Angela Trimber. Now, Angela, I did not recognize her, and that's probably because I didn't recognize any of the movies she's been in either. But she's been in quite a few, oddly enough, films of the genre variety, including Final Stop. She had a small role in there. Trespasser, she played Sarah. And in Psychopath, she played Blondie. And Double X, which I think we've watched.
Double X?
Yeah, it was an anthology film. Do you remember that?
I don't.
She played Jess in one of the segments. So, yeah, I didn't recognize her anyways, but playing the role of Paula, Chloe Bridges. I guess she was supposed to be the badass. She was supposed to be the original final girl. I did not recognize her, but she is the second person in this film who was also in Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates.
Oh, I watched that.
Did you? There's two people who were in that movie.
Wow.
She was also in Camp Rock 2. She played Sydney Driscoll in Pretty Little Liars, which I've never seen, but you have.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and then a movie, I think we did watch this, Game Over Man. That was a Netflix movie. She played Diana, but still, whatever. But, yeah. And then finally, in the role of Blake, playing, I don't even know what you call his character, Tori N. Thompson, who was in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as the man snickering. He was in Lucifer as the delivery guy. Are you getting the picture here? He hasn't done much of anything. But he was in Scream Queens, which you've seen some of that. I have not. And he played Garrett. So yeah. That's essentially everybody who's of anybody to be. Well, it's pretty much everybody.
Surprised that I didn't recognize more people.
Yeah, it's true.
Because I think I would have recognized more people than you.
Probably. You've probably seen a lot of those, more comedies and dramas and stuff like that they were in. So, yeah, it's amazing. And some of the people, I'm amazed I didn't recognize them, though it's been so long since I've seen what they were in, but still. A lot of recognizable faces. A lot of experienced actors as a result. The one who actually had probably the least amount of experience is the director, even though he has directed big budget type things. He doesn't have a huge list like these guys, the actors did. But that being said, the film is, looks pretty. I mean, it looks good, sounds good. Technically wise, it's solid. And heck, could have been in 3D even. It's, I guess the acting is fine. It's supposed to be campy, a little over the top. But I think there was a lot of... Oh, you okay, buddy? A lot of ad-libbing going on, as was clear in the end credits. But I think we're going to have to take a little break here because he's getting a little fussy. So, yeah, technically sound. So what could go wrong? I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Talking to me for what could go wrong? Because I was going to be like...
the film. What are your thoughts?
Okay, because I was going to be like, well, we've finally done it.
Oh, I think that means she liked it.
Well... I don't know how I can say what I didn't like. Because I can't spoil everything, which I hate, because if this was my channel, I would just spoil everything. And be like, deal with it, people.
Yeah.
But... Because I would. I totally would.
Lesley's spoiler show.
Yeah, I'd be like, when this happened, oh, I was so mad. And then everybody would be like, yeah, but he doesn't let me do that. So, no, I was, because it reminded me of, again, the hell was that movie? It was at the film festival last year. It was the closing one. You Might Be the Killer.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so not exactly the same, but like it's supposed to be kind of funny, and you know what I mean. Well, I hope that was supposed to be funny. I found it funny, but anyways, so I liked that right away because you know what? If it's shitty, at least I can laugh at something. So that was good, and I liked the people who were in it, and then I liked. Well, that's just me, but I liked the mom thing in it. And it was okay. It wasn't a lot of like kill stuff going on, but it wasn't supposed to be like that. And then they had like an 80s thing going on a little bit, so I liked that. So you know what? I think this was the best thing so far.
Best thing so far, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. See, the thing I liked about this film was the film within a film aspect. So whenever they related to any of that kind of stuff, that's where, it's kind of smart and fun and cool. But where it started to kind of lose me was where they stopped doing that and just started having just a regular movie. But it's like, you're supposed to be a movie within a movie. What? Mm-hmm. Why is that not continuing?
You can say that because I couldn't. I was going to say that. I couldn't say that.
We already said they go into the movie.
I'm busy. Hello.
So yeah, a good portion of the middle is just sort of like telling story, moving along the plot. And it's often in the films that don't rank super high for me, that's where they start to lose me. Because they're not as interesting in that middle portion. It's just, okay, great, you're filling in blanks instead of being more entertaining. It's often the case with comedies especially. Very funny at the beginning, and then they start just doing like plot, and then for some reason the jokes stop. And you're like, why did the jokes stop? This is supposed to be funny. And then again, you get to your whatever conclusion or... and jokes come back, but there's that whole middle portion where, they get serious almost. And this film does that kind of a thing in the middle, and it's just like, but why? Why did you go away from this? It did have a Last Action Hero. Did you ever see Last Action Hero? Arnold Schwarzenegger movie where the kid has the magic ticket and he gets to go into the film of his action. No? It had very, very similar to that. So it plays up a lot on, what's going to happen in the film. So that, and that's the good portion of the the beginning of this weird adventure, and then they reveal that they're in a movie, and that starts to stop, and then it comes back, and you're like, why wasn't it in the middle portion? Whatever. But every time they dealt with that whole movie within a movie aspect, and the tropes of being in a slasher film, and what was supposed to happen in the the original film, all of that, really enjoyed it. There
were some jokes like that, if you grew up around our time, you would get.
Yeah.
Not necessarily if
Yeah.
you're younger. So that was funny.
Yeah, it was. I enjoyed the comedy aspects of this. It was like people are way over the top, like so over the top, right? Like the jock who gets all the ladies is the jock who gets all the ladies. Like it's, and like the slut, right? Well, yeah, they literally have a reference like, oh, she's had sex twice already today. Right? Like, they are, like, to the nth degree of their, the caricatures of what their characters are supposed to be.
But no nudity.
So
there you go.
There was people who are naked, but you don't see anything.
Because you don't need to. It's just, yeah, that was good.
So, yeah, I really enjoyed those aspects of it. I just kind of wish there was more. I wish there was more of that. Mm-hmm. I also would have liked more of the actual slasher aspects of the film. Because, again, in that middle section, it's telling story. And you're like...
There was a lot going on.
Yeah.
Of the drama thing.
There's a lot of the drama.
About the mom and the daughter. A lot of drama in there. Which I personally was okay with.
I didn't mind it, but it just seemed like... Okay, they set it up at the beginning, and then it's obviously forgotten, and then it's brought back, and then it's just like, it's hinted at over and over and over, and you're like, okay, we know where this is going. Like, it's telegraphed completely.
It doesn't matter, I cried, because...
Right? Which is one of those things I don't think they needed to do so much about it, because it was so... prominent throughout the entirety of the film. It was almost like they went too far, like almost like they thought the audience just wouldn't get it otherwise. And that, whatever, it added to the drama nuances in the film. But I don't think people reading, what this film is about, the synopsis, or seeing the trailer, are going to the film really looking for that. They were looking for the other aspects. They were looking for, the comedy aspects. They were looking for the slasher aspects. It's even in the trailer. So they're looking for the movie within a movie aspects.
Well, and I actually read the back, right?
Yeah.
And nowhere did I think that was, it hinted, but it didn't seem like anything.
Yeah. Right, so... as much as I didn't have a problem with that portion of the storyline, I just think they did too much of it, right? And that's where I think the film kind of got a little dry. Yeah, I guess overall it's an entertaining film. So,
Listen.
rating? 3. Is it getting a recommend?
Yes.
It's a recommend as well. Is that just because it's better than all the other ones previously?
It's fun, if there wasn't the funny parts in there, I'd just be like, I don't know. But it's a fun watch.
It is a fun watch. It's one of those things where you can just throw it on and
you don't have to think about it.
You just watch it, and it is what it is, right?
And also, it's the best one so far.
And it is the best one so far. I would like to watch it and try and pay closer attention to the film within the film, because they do show a good portion of the actual Camp Bloodbath film, So I would like to see how that matches up within it and pay a little bit closer attention to that. But that's mostly at the beginning, and then you wouldn't even really need to care about it after that. But I think I'm on the same boat as you, as a 3 out of 5 for me. I would give it a recommend, not just simply because I think people enjoy it, but because I know people have enjoyed it. I haven't heard, well, there are some people who, again, because of the middle and because of all the whole mother-daughter aspect and the drama portions of the film, kind of give it a stinker. But for those people with an open mind who are just like, you know what, it's just part of the film, it's part of telling the story. As long as you enjoy the rest of it, you don't have to poo-poo on the entire film, right?
Like, you don't laugh at a lot of things, and like, it was pretty much right away, and you started laughing and stuff. So, in my mind, right there, it was a 3.
It's because it's so over the top, man. It is so over the top.
But that's what makes it alright.
I know. Yeah.
Next time, no more willy-nilly choices. I'm just picking one and that's it.
You're just picking one, that's it, eh?
Yeah.
That's it.
It'll be
How's he supposed to pick movies if you do that?
through osmosis.
Osmosis, eh?
Good.
Anyways, I think that's all that needs to be said about this. You got 2 people on the same page. And I think most of the people like I said, most of the people I've heard talk about the film since it came out, mostly when it came out, were pretty positive. So definitely worth something I think you should probably check it out if you haven't already. You probably have, and we're probably the last people to watch this film.
I never had heard anything about it before that anyway. I don't get out.
She probably didn't realize it was that movie. Anyways, comment down below if you've seen the film. Keep it spoiler free, though I don't know how well we did with that this time.
You are the spoiler now. I just sit there and shut my mouth. See?
Yeah, I spoil everything now.
I'm gonna get you a t-shirt.
My God, this guy's coming to get me or something. I don't know what the hell he's doing.
See?
He's trying to get on my shoulders.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Like, look at this. Look at this. He's on my shoulders.
He's giving you a massage. Or he's gonna pee on you or something.
I don't know. But yeah, comment down below. Thanks for watching. More 31 Days of Horror to come, of course. And so yeah, see you in the next one. Take care. Have a good one.
Yeah, what do you think happened when they fell on me?
You didn't fall on me. You got on my shoulders, man. Crazy kid.
You keep that one to yourself.